today. For those of you who follow me quite a lot, I have not been on for a while because my leg has been, well, it was actually my foot, not my leg, has been bothering me quite a bit. So I have been just not doing anything. I really couldn't walk real well, so I didn't bother to go uh, to make it. I couldn't really make it over here to my work desk, so I haven't been doing lives for the last few days instead of my normal schedule. So anyway, hi Sid. That's I will discuss that a little bit more. Hi Georgina. In a few moments. I am going to try and do something this morning, if I can find all my bits and pieces I need, that is. What do I do with Tranquil Tides? This is not Tranquil Tides. This is, oh, where's my Tranquil Tides? Well, I can't, my box with my Tranquil Tides bundle in it doesn't appear to be in my.
Oh, in there?
Yeah. Oh,
Is it in here?
it should have been right here on the top. But
what does it look like?
Box just like this, except for it's got this size, except for it's got blue and orange beads in it. Huh. I don't think I took it into any other room.
I'll go look in there.
But I'm not seeing it.
I don't see it along here.
Oh well, we'll just use different stuff. If we do anything. Hey Donna. Hi Heather. Like I said, well, trying to see what I did with my Tranquil Tides. Oh, there it is. I found it, honey. So anyway, I've been separating beads out this morning, and I wanted to make a bookmark or something with Tranquil Tides, so I needed to find it. Thanks, Sid. Hey, Beth. Having a good drive, I hope, Beth, and you're heading home. Anyway, as I was saying, for those of you who wondered where I have been, as you all know, I had, excuse me, total knee replacement on my right leg. Well, early Thursday morning, as in middle of the night, early Thursday morning, my foot and ankle started acting up with some pretty severe pain in it, and it just kept progressively getting worse. Thursday, I did manage to do the members live, and we got through that. But then by Friday, because it was progressively getting worse, and I couldn't, excuse me, hardly walk on it, I chose not to try and even get to my desk. So, so anyway, it kept getting worse. So Friday, I called my orthopedist, and they said, well, let's see how it goes, and if it gets worse, then we'll see if we can get you in this week. And it got worse, quite a bit worse. I really, really couldn't walk on it. I was actually trying to hop on my left leg, which was doing better, obviously, that, but it's sort of ticked off right now because I did hobble around on it quite a bit, so it wasn't happy about that. But because it has arthritis in it also. Um, so it was getting unhappy with that. So I called the clinic again at their emergency number, and they said there was nobody. They didn't have a way to see me over the weekend, but um, they advised if it was really really bad to either go to one of the urgent care clinics in the valley. So I did do that, and they decided after doing some, you know, checking it and things that it was some nerve damage, probably because they had to cut some of the nerves when they did my knee replacement, that they were trying to regenerate, but they were doing it in a rough way, so to speak. So they did prescribe me some medication for nerve pain, which helped to a degree. It didn't take care of it entirely. So I did call the orthopedic clinic back on Monday morning because that doctor that I saw at the urgent care clinic, hey Brandy, suggested that I should get in as soon as possible to my regular orthopedic surgeon. So I did manage to get in yesterday, and they did x-rays, made sure it wasn't any bone damage, which it wasn't. The bones were all fine. So they decided that, yeah, it was my nerve regenerating and being unhappy about it, it would seem. So, hey, Brandy. And so they asked me some questions. And while they were asking questions, I realized that I have been out of my meloxicam and hadn't taken any for I don't know how long, because I remember taking it before I went to the hospital, but I can't remember taking it at all afterwards. And so they called me in a new prescription of meloxicam, a slightly higher dose than I had been taking, and suggested that that should help quite a bit. And if it wasn't, the meloxicam didn't help, then it may be that I was developing gout in that foot. So they gave me some gout medication as well, which I'm supposed to start taking tomorrow if my foot's not better. But I can tell you right now, it's a lot better. So who would have thought that just missing my meloxicam would make it so I couldn't walk? But it is much better today. Not perfect by a long shot, but much better. So it allows me to get around a little better again. And I have been able to do my exercises again. So that was a couple of worries that, number one, I could hardly move. And number two, I couldn't do my exercises. So luckily I can again. So that's always a good thing. And happily, it is a good thing. And so we're doing a bit better. And I'm really pleased with feeling quite a bit better today. One thing about the gabapentin that they did give me for the nerve pain and told me to keep taking that is that it makes me really drowsy. So I hadn't slept really good because of the pain in my foot, but since I took that, I've been sleeping quite a bit. Definitely catching up on the sleep I missed when I was in really bad pain. So anyway, that's what's been going on. Hi, Lori. So my knee, they said, how is your knee doing? I'm like, my knee is fine. The knee is not the problem. I was getting along really good before my ankle and foot decided to act up. So they are doing better, I'm pleased to say. I could hobble over here without as much anywhere near the issues that I was having. So I'm really happy about that. Now my hubby had to have shoulder surgery yesterday. So my poor daughter was running everybody all around. Hey, Gloria. And she had to run my husband up to the surgical center so he could have his shoulder surgery at 7:30. Then she came back and by the time she got back, I was had to talk to um, the surgical nurse at the ortho clinic, and she got me in to the clinic at 11. And so my daughter had to, she was supposed to have worked last night. She's a CNA at the hospital and she works the graveyard shift. So she was supposed to have worked last night, but instead she was running us all over the place. So she had to run me up there, and then she dropped me off, got me checked in, dropped me off. And then as she did that, she just got the call from the surgical center that her dad was out of the anesthesia and was having a cup of coffee, and he should be ready to leave in just a little while. So she ran over and got him and thought, well, I'll go get him, make sure everything's good, and I get all the discharge instructions, and then I'll run him home and come back and get mom from her appointment. Well, as it ended up, I was done. They got me in pretty quickly, and I saw I had x-rays and all the wonderful fun stuff, and they checked my knee again. I said, my knee is fine. It doesn't hurt. It's not bothering me. I get a stabbing pain in it every once in a while, which I believe is the nerve. And they said, yes, that is. And so she took hold of my leg and pushed a few places and said, can you feel, is that causing you pain in your foot? And I said, well, it's not really causing me pain, but I can feel it by my big toe, which was one of the places that's been giving me the most problems. I couldn't even bend my toes. It just wasn't letting me. And so they did decide, since my x-rays were fine for my bones, everything looked good there, that it was a nerve, one of the nerves regenerating. And so they told me to keep taking the gabapentin, and to make sure that I took this slightly higher dose of meloxicam and got that going good. And I was like, when it started feeling better after a few hours after I took the meloxicam, I was like, seriously, just missing my meloxicam did this to me? Because I'm not 100%, but I'm a heck of a lot better than I was. I can walk around again and everything like that. So I was like, ah, man. But so everything is much better. And I have to have my other knee, a knee replacement in my other knee as well. And so I was like, my husband would ask me, do you need to, what do you think? Is it, you're going to do your other one all right? And I'm like, well, that'll depend how this is going. And then when I had so many problems there for a while with my foot, I was like, well, maybe we're not, because I'm not going to deal with this again. And then it turned out that it was just, I am really just shocked that it was more or less just needing my meloxicam back. So I'm much better. So good to be able to get up and walk around again, because I was actually sort of pissed off, because I was getting along really good. I have this pair of pants that I wear that I really like. They're lightweight pants, and they have big, huge pockets on the side, so I could stick a water bottle down in, or my phone. Most things that I needed to carry around, I could just stuff in the pocket, and I was walking around pretty good. So I was like, I'm ticked. This ankle is just really ticking me off. So, but much better today. So I think we're gonna make it through okay. Though I will say it gives me a dry throat, so I do have to so I do have to make sure I drink a bit of water. So I was thinking we'd make something with the Tranquil Tides, and I just sold one of my last ribbon bookmarks, so I thought we might make another ribbon bookmark. We'll see if we feel like it. So how is everybody else doing now that I have given you the big rundown on talked 15 minutes about my ankle and foot? How is everybody else doing? Anyway, as I was telling you about my daughter, though, she had to do all this running around, and so she wasn't getting her sleep that she generally is doing when at this time, because of running her dad and her mom all over the place. Well, more or less the same place, because the surgical center is an ortho thing, because he had to have he had a tear in his is it a tendon, honey, that you had?
Labrum, they called it.
Yeah, but is it that a tendon?
Yeah, sort of. I think something to do with the rotator cuff.
Anyway, so he had a tear in what they said was his labrum. Yeah. I am not exactly sure if that's a tendon or a muscle or what, but it was tearing all the way around, and they said if it's not fixed, then they'd have to do some major surgery on his shoulder. So, and so they did tell him that they had to do a little more work than they were hoping that they had originally thought they would, but that it went really good. So that's good. But anyway, my daughter wasn't getting her sleep because she was running us all around. And so both, because she is a surgical CNA, most of the doctors and things knew who she was and had met her before, and knew that she was supposed to be working last night. And so Dr. Piercer, my husband's surgeon, called over to the hospital and told him that she was playing medical transport and care, and so for her parents, so she wasn't getting her sleep. So if they could let her have the night off, that would be great. And then if that wasn't good enough, then my doctor did the same and called him as well. So I thought that was pretty funny. But she ended up, they put her on call instead of making her work last night. So that was good. That was helpful. The true test is for how well I feel is how long I go over my hour. That's very true, probably. I don't know that I will go over my hour. Like I said, I hadn't really got anything planned, though I did think we might make a bookmark. With the Tranquil Tides. Though I don't have quite the color of ribbon I wanted. The ribbon I have is more of a light blue as opposed to this darker denim blue, but I think we can still make some cute bookmark. These will be ribbon bookmarks, which means we'll have a bead strand on either side. We might use the fish for that, the couple of little fish for these. That would be cute. So anyway, I've been separating beads this morning. I got my gemstone beads. I've got, let's see. Oh, that's something I made the other day. So I've separated my beads out, my gemstones out by colors. Did I get the companion bundle? Yes, I did order it. Of course, it hasn't came yet, but I did order it. So It looked really nice. I was really, so I'm looking forward to getting that. So I've been separating them out. I separated a box of greens, and then I was working on a box of browns when it came time to do this. So there's some really pretty blood jasper in here, and moss agate, and some jade, and some Indian agate. So that one was fun. And then I also separated out my red lightning jasper is in this box. The box isn't full, but I'm pretty sure I have some more around. It seems to me like I have some more anyway. And then as I'm going through the green gemstones, I ran across a thing of turquoise. It was African turquoise, but I'm like, I have the turquoise separated out from the other colors. So why is that in there? Yes, gabapentin does make me sleep all the time, Gloria. I was actually sort of feeling drowsy before I came on here. And Heather says that we'll see my true test of how I feel is going to be how much of I go over the hour. I may not, because like I said, the gabapentin does make you drowsy. I have slept quite a bit since I've been taking it, which I got it Saturday. And I've been super careful not to fall. And Saturday when we got home, I was coming up the driveway to come to bed, to come in the house, and I fell. So that wasn't good. But at least I fell on my bum instead of falling forward onto my knee. So that was better than.
Do I get any points for not making a joke right now?
So yeah, I slept the rest of the day on Saturday after I took my pills, and most of Sunday, most Saturday night, and most of Sunday as well. So it definitely helped in that regard, because I hadn't been getting sleeping because it was a lot of pain in my ankle and foot. So it had got to the point where I couldn't even move my toes, and I can move them now fine. And I couldn't do my heel toe exercise. For those of you who have had knee replacements, you know what I mean when I say the heel toe exercise. And I couldn't even move my foot enough to do them. So I can do those again now. So I'm pretty happy with that. I did get my exercises done this morning, thankfully, because I now can do them again. So it's real funny. It looked like most of the issue was the fact that I didn't have my meloxicam, and got it back. Seems to be doing good. The gabapentin's helping with the pain in my nerves. So I think we're going to be all right now. Tell him in this group you only get points when you make jokes. So he's got his arm in a sling, and he's off work for a few weeks because obviously he's a janitorial and maintenance up at the park and can't quite do those things with only one arm. Gloria says good morning, Rose's hubby. His name is Steve, by the way, Gloria.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So he's running around with his arm in a sling, and so we're a good match there. His shoulders had surgery in my knee, so it's one on either side. So anyway, we're doing not bad. He's doing pretty good. He's got an ice pack tucked down into so yeah, it's nice having that CNA for around the house.
Yes, it is.
um, she certainly helped us quite a bit. So,
Although
though,
it was a little odd having her put my socks on, though.
and though I did have to start wearing my TED hose again, because that foot was quite a bit swollen. So they wanted me to have my TED hose back on again, which I wasn't exactly thrilled by because, that they're a bit of a pain in the bun. But, got to do what you got to do, right? So, anyway, I am feeling much better. And so I think we're going to turn down and we're either going to make a bookmark or some earrings with our Tranquil Tides collection. I'm liking these little fishies, so I think we'll probably use them for whatever we make. So I'll put a couple of those out on my desk. So oh, thank you, Tina. That's very sweet. I was going to say I'm happy to hear that you're glad that you missed me, but at the same time, who wants to? I don't want to have to be missed. It's one of those things. The kitties have all the kitties have all come and been sleeping with me off and on. I guess they figure I need to be kept an eye on. So so anyway, I am feeling much better, thankfully, and I appreciate all of the lovely comments and stuff that I got on the short I put out yesterday when I said I wasn't going to be on. I appreciated that quite a bit. So thank you for that, ladies. I appreciate it. But let's turn down and see about, I think, would you guys rather make a ribbon bookmark or some earrings? I can do either. My scab just came off from having where my did I see the chakra beads that Randy had yesterday, but forgot to ask about the hole size? I didn't. I was at the I was at the doctor when Randy came on. So I did not see what she put on. I'll have to go back and watch her replay. I was that was when my doctor's appointment wasn't till 11, but my husband was getting out about that time, so we had to Kalispell, which is where all of the surgical clinic is, and our doctor's offices is about what is about 16 miles away from our home. So
pretty much.
We had to leave about what was that Heather said? You have 2 different strands of chakra beads for tomorrow. Yeah, I want some, all of mine. I know I have some somewhere with large holes, but as we all know, I'm still going through all of my stuff that I moved around, and heck, I'm getting a whole new pile over here now. I need to move these off too. Um, so I want some large hole ones. I know I can order some from Dakota Stones because I have got in there and checked, and they do have some. But if you have some, we'll see before we can see if you have large hole ones before I go and order them from them. Because I really want to put them in a macrame bracelet. I think they will be really pretty in a macrame bracelet with like the silver or yeah, I think the silver would be best with the silver wrap tail that we got. This one. Because that we used for this bracelet, which is not going to stay here very much longer because I offered it to my physician's assistant, and she showed her a picture, and she really thought it was beautiful. So I'm going to give it to her, and so it's going to go down. I have an appointment with her Friday to check and see how things are going. So it's going to go down to her on Friday. This is true. I could put them on a thinner center strand and just macrame around them. Ah, Beth. Well, I hope you, when you come back, let us know. So anyway, we're going to turn down, and I may have to have him get me a book. I use a ribbon in the middle of my, you want to put them on leather? Yeah, that would be pretty too. And like I said, I know I have some large hole chakras around here somewhere, but the question is where, because they weren't in my bag with all my other chakra stones. So that was rather, well, not only disappointing to me, but sort of, what the heck, where'd they go? I know I have them, but I don't find them. So that was a little bit on the what the heck line, you know. So let's see here. We're going to turn down here. And we need to get a few things to make these, but you hope everything comes out okay. Yeah, I hope everything comes out okay too. So let's turn down. Anyway, I think everything's back. Supposed to be back. Oh, you bugger. What'd you do here? It's messed. Okay. I don't think they're on. Are you guys there? I'm not sure if you are or not. I'm hoping so. Okay. I pushed my off button accidentally when I was flipping the camera around, and I'm like, oh, what did I do? So what we do is we take and make a short bead, 2 short bead strands. And since this stuff is copper, it's not going to work. I only have copper. I only have silver or gold in the findings that we need to put these together. So we will probably go with gold. I need 2 of these. These are little, got rounds in here, which I never use. as anybody who knows me very much knows, I hate rounds. Round jump rings, anyway. Then we're going to get a couple of little ball spacers. These are some of my cheaper crimp tubes. Let me tell you, when I say cheaper, I mean it. They're only a couple of cents each. And those are the ones I used to get when I started, and I can break those. And I intentionally would sometimes when I was unhappy with the way things were going. I'd intentionally break those so that I could get them apart without so your Steve says, I hope everything comes out okay. Okay. Let's see, what color of Softflex do we want to use? We'll just use the lapis. So we want some other beads, obviously. We can't just have the little fishies all by themselves. Maybe some of our moonstone. I was really shocked when Lauren said this is rainbow moonstone that's been dyed. I was like, you dyed rainbow moonstone? Eek. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Chris. They were making up your room. Got it. These things have to happen. Now, so I put a small bead strand on. We need two because this is going to go on a ribbon between, and the ribbon will go inside your book, and then your bead strands hang out on either side. So we have to decide what all we want, how big we want these to be, and if we want, I'm wanting something more, but I don't know. Well, even though we're using the gold ends and stuff, I might put these copper ones, right? These copper spirals in here. But then I want a copper spacer probably. Or a white, or, well, it could be a gold one. We're going to go multi-metal. It doesn't matter, right? If we go multi-metal or not, since we are sort of anyway with our bits there. So, yeah, I think we'll go that way. And then these go at the end, and what these are like a stop bead, and you just wrap your wire around it and go back up, and then of course the crimp will be here too. These go up and they hook onto here. Yeah. Yeah, they could come to my room too. That would be nice. Thank you, Gloria. I appreciate that. When I was in there yesterday, they said, "Oh, well, maybe we should put new steri strips on, because you know they have the little strips." After they took my staples out. They put steri strips on there, but they said, oh, they'll fall off in a few days. And some of them are starting to fall off and others are really loose. And they said, oh, well, we could replace those. And it's like, why? You said they were supposed to fall off. So why bother replacing the things? It just makes more, uses more stuff you don't need to use. They decided not to, which is fine. I lost another one since then, so no big whoop. Okay, I need gold. Or copper, one or the other. Here, come to you. You work your copper. Not what I want. Okay. Oops, knocked something down. That's all right. Did you guys see my video I posted of my kitty yesterday? Playing with we had to take that away from him because he decided he was going to eat it the other day, which was like, that's a no. That funny little cat eats some of the weirdest stuff. But we're always talking to him about it because he eats what we call fuzzies. You know how when you get the little fuzzy nodules off your sweaters or your sheet or flannel sheets or something like that, the little turd will eat those. And we've talked to him many times about eating them because obviously they will, it's not like it's going to digest. So but does he listen? No. So we're forever taking odds and ends things away from him that he has decided would be yummy, which we think is sort of, no, that's not going to work, little man. So anyway, he was having just a wonderful fun time playing with that little rubber ring that he found. We're not even sure where he found it, but so I'm just going to cut a few pieces here of our lapis. In fact, I might just start by cutting one and then using the rest of it for the other one. So what this little guy is here is a stopper bead. So what we're going to do is just take him, put him on here. Then we'll take our, well, actually, put your crimp on first. Then your stopper bead. Oh, come on. I'm going to go up and go back through our crimp. Through the crimp. Pull it up tight. And see, this is just going to sit down here and be the end. Now, if you wanted, you could put a charm here instead of this. Oh, I'm sorry to hear you have to take your daughter back to the hospital, Georgina. I was hoping she was doing well enough to not have to be taken in again. Well, keep us updated on how she's doing. I know that she has been not doing the best in the world, so hopefully that will resolve itself. So now we're just going to string these right up like I have them sitting here. I'm not sure if these will take 2 strands. We'll find out here. Okay, yep, it did. So, Rayanne is Georgina's daughter. She's been having some. She told us the other day that Rayanne has been having some heart problems. Georgina, did they get her scheduled to see the cardiologist yet? Don't know if you've left yet. Now we got our fishy. This fish is cute.
Ben was just chewing on one of your strands of beads or stones.
Little fart.